Hello everybody and welcome to a Grimdark Future Firefight Battle Report. Today a small squad of the human Defence Force will face off against the robot Dynasty. The group of human Defence Force soldiers have to investigate a crash site to search for intel and possibly determine if it's possible to establish a base for future operations. 250 points of human defense force led by Commander Kruit with energy sword and plasma pistol. He has a sergeant with shred rifle, a private with flamethrower, a sniper, and an infantry squad with 1 shred and 2 regular rifles. They face off against 250 points of Robot Dynasty led by the Robot Lord with combat staff, the Tri-Scorpion with dual Reaper blades, 2 regular robot warriors with Reaper rifles, and the usually harmless bot swarm. The squads will deploy like this on the battlefield with the Robot Dynasty in the A section and the Human Defense Force in the lower right section. And here we have the battlefield, the crash site in the middle here with a central positioned objective. The second objective in the lower left corner, and the third and final objective in the upper right section of the battlefield. And over here, Commander Kruit and his crew have deployed with a sniper positioned on the roof here and the infantry squad and the sergeant down here. And on the opposite side of the battlefield, the Robot Lord and his loyal warriors in cover of the building and behind the rock, and with the bot swarm in a sneaky position here behind the building. Now let's roll off to see who will take the first turn. Red dice for the Robot Dynasty, black dice for the Human Defense Force. And the robots will act first. The first unit to activate is the Tri-Scorpion, who will move close to the objective and hide behind the building for his first activation. The next one to activate is the sniper here on the roof with a long-range sniper rifle. He can shoot the Tri-Scorpion. He will need a 3+ to hit because of the cover, and he makes the shot. Now the Tri-Scorpion needs to defend at a 3+ and is successful. Next up, the first robot warrior, who will move behind the rock here, out of range of any shooting, but in a slightly better position. The infantry squad will move from behind the building and to the next building, where they will be in cover and still out of range, out of charge range of the Tri-Scorpion. Next up, the second robot warrior, who will move slightly closer, but still out of shooting range. But it moves into range, because the sergeant will jump on the roof, and he will attack the robot warrior with his shred rifles. 3 attacks at 4+. He needs a 4 because he has the take aim from his commander, but the robot is in cover. And with 4+, he hits 2 times, one of them rending. So the robot warrior will first try to defend the rending shot, which he doesn't, and then the normal shot, also a fail. So he will receive 2 wounds, and he has a possibility to regenerate 1 of them, which he doesn't. So 2 wounds, and then he'll have to roll on the wound chart to see if he is knocked out or stunned. And with a total of 5, he is stunned. Nice shot by the sergeant. The bot swarm moves closer to the objective and closer to the enemy, but still in cover here behind the building. The next one to activate is the private with the flamethrower. He will rush behind the crates and capture the first objective here. Now it's time for the Robot Lord to march forward. Most of the robots are slow, so he can't really move that far, but he will stay in cover here behind the building. And then Commander Kruit will do the same, a little bit closer to the central objective, but still in cover behind the rock. And that concludes the first round here with the robots controlling one objective and the human defense force in control of the second objective up here. The central objective is still uncontested. The robots finished first in the first round, so they will also begin the second round. And the first activation is this robot warrior who will stand up and is no longer stunned. The infantry squad moves out of cover. They are still out of charge range from the Tri-Scorpion, but they will take their shots at it. 3 shots with a shred rifle and 2 regular rifle shots, all of them hitting at force. And a really bad shot. 2 of them hits, and the Tri-Scorpion will have to defend, needing a 3+. So it makes one of them and fails the other. 1 potential wound for the Tri-Scorpion, but he has a chance to regenerate. And he doesn't do that. So 1 wound for the Tri-Scorpion. Nice shot. The Robot Lord himself moves out of cover and closer to the central objective. He is out of shooting range with only 12-inch firing range with his combat staff, but he is also exposed, so the sniper on the roof will take a shot, needing only 2+ to hit because he is not in cover. But with a 1, the shot is failed. Maybe he had some nerves or something. The Tri-Scorpion moves forward. Even though he moves away, he still controls the objective. He cannot reach the infantry squad, but he moves closer and stays in cover. Commander Kruit shouts his take-aim command at the sergeant, and he will move in position and fire at the Tri-Scorpion, normally needing a 5, but with the take-aim command he needs a 4+ to hit. He has 3 shots, only 1 of them finds the target. The Tri-Scorpion has to defend, and he fails, so 1 wound more, but he managed to regenerate it, so back to 1 wound. The Robot Warrior here moves forward, and he's now close enough to take a shot at the sniper. But it's quite difficult because he's in cover and he also has stealth, so he needs a 5+, and with a 6, he manages to make the shot. Now the sniper needs a 6 to save because of the AP -2 value of the Reaper rifle. And that's a fail, 1 wound for the sniper, who now needs to make a roll on the wound chart. And that's a 5+1. Sadly, that means that the sniper is knocked out, the first casualty of the battle. Robots move closer. Someone has to do something about it. The Flamer moves up. He's in cover, but he can shoot at the Robot Lord with 6 shots, hitting on force. Only 2 of them hit, but the Robot Lord has to make 2 saves at 3+. 1 success, 1 fail. He gets 1 wound, but he has a chance to regenerate, needing 5 or 6 here. He doesn't complete that task, and that means he is now wounded. Now, as an immediate response to that attack, the bot swarm charges the private with the flamethrower. 3 attacks, needing 6s, and all of them fail. Now the private has a chance to attack back with only 1 attack, needing a 4, and he completes the attack. It's a 6 up for defense, and the bot swarm managed to block the attack. No wounds this time. It's not over for the bot swarm. Commander Kruit charges 2 attacks needing 4s, 1 fail and 1 hit with rending, which means a 6-up save for the bot swarm with no chance of regeneration. That's 1 hit for the bot swarm. And even though it has already fought and is fatigued, the bot swarm can fight back, needing 6s, and all of them fail. Commander Kruit is safe for the moment, and he moves back 1 inch. And that concludes the second round here. The squads have moved closer to each other and to the central objective. Still 1 objective each in control. We'll see what happens in round 3. Once again, the robot dynasty will activate first, and the sneaky bot swarm will charge behind the soldiers, up behind the crates. It has Strider, so it's no problem, and charge Commander Kruit from behind. 3 attacks needing 6s, and all of them fail. And immediately Commander Kruit returns the attack with 2 attacks needing 4s. 1 of them hit. It's a 6-up defense roll for the bot swarm, and it's a fail, but it managed to regenerate the wound, so no harm done. The infantry squad has a golden opportunity to take out the Tri-Scorpion, so they line up and fire 3 shred rifle shots and 2 regular rifles. They are in the 24-inch range with their field radio of the take aim command, so they need 4s to hit. It's not impressive. Only 1 shot hits the target, and the Tri-Scorpion makes 1 defense roll, which fails, so it has the possibility to regenerate, and it also fails, so 1 shot and 1 wound. The Robot Lord himself has had enough of the flame attacks from last round. He captures the objective and fires his combat staff. 3 shots, needing 4s because the flamethrower is in cover. It's 1 hit with a 6, and with an AP -1, the poor flamethrower guy needs a 5-up save. And with a 6, he's safe. Well done. The sergeant on top of the building positions himself and decides to take 3 shots from his red rifle at the robot warrior. He needs 5-ups to hit because he's in cover. And 1 of them hits and is a rending shot, which means it's AP -4. The robot warrior now needs a 6 to defend this shot, so he will most likely fail. No, a 6, he is certainly tough. No wounds through. The other robot warrior moves from behind the building and is now in range to take a shot back at the sergeant. He's in cover, so he needs a 4+ to hit, only 1 shot. And it's a success. Now the sergeant needs to save at 6, and he fails, so 1 wound for the sergeant, and he needs to make a roll on the wound chart to see what happens, and it's a 1, so he is only stunned. Back to the gruesome fight between the Robot Lord and the Flamethrower. He'll fire 6 shots with the Flamethrower needing 4, so 5 hits. It's AP nothing, so the Robot Lord needs 3-ups to defend, but 5 of them. And he makes 4, only 1 shot going through the tough defense of the Robot Lord. 1 potential wound, taking him up to a total of 2, but he can regenerate. He fails, so now he has only 1 wound left. The robot warrior from behind the building fires his Reaper rifle back at the private with the flamethrower. He needs a 4-up to hit, and with a 3 that's a fail. The poor flamethrower is under heavy fire, so Commander Kruit steps up and fires his plasma gun and try to take out the Robot Lord. One shot needing 4s, and with a 5 it's a hit, so it's an AP -4 save for the Robot Lord. He needs a 6, and, well, he is certainly tough to take out of action. At the other end of the battlefield, it's now time for judgment for the infantry squad. The Tri-Scorpion charges and makes 4 attacks, needing 3s to hit. 1 fail, 3 hits, and that means 6 up saves for the poor infantry squad. And not even 1. 2 soldiers leave the battlefield immediately, and the remaining soldier with the shred rifle receives 1 wound. And he has to make a roll on the wound chart, and he is stunned. What a massacre. Before we move into the final round, let's have a view of the battlefield here. 1 objective controlled by the robots, the central objective controlled by the robots, and the third objective here not controlled by anyone. And then we have a few casualties. The robots move in closer. Now let's see what happens in round 4. The Defence Force finished first in the 3rd round and will activate first here in the 4th round. The flamethrower private moves back and positions himself close to the objective and fires all 6 flame shots at the bot swarm. He needs 3s because of Commander Kruit's take aim order, and that's 3 hits. AP nothing, but the bot swarm still needs 6s to defend, and not 1 6. All of them are fails, so 3 wounds possibly going through to a total of 4 wounds, but he has a chance to regenerate. Also fails, so now there is a real huge possibility that the bot swarm will be knocked out. No, a 1, so it's actually only stunned and will remain on the battlefield. Too bad, it's still in the game. The robot warrior here will activate next. He'll move next to the building and take 1 quick shot at the stunned infantryman, try to take him out. But he fails miserably. With the bot swarm still in the game, Commander Kruit has to make 1 final desperate attack against the Robot Lord to try to take him out and take the objective as well. 2 attacks. He needs 4+. He makes 1 hit. It's an AP -2. So the Robot Lord will need 5 or 6 to defend. And he gets another 6. So it didn't pay off. Now he can fight back 3 attacks with the combat staff, and he needs 3+ to hit. That is 2 hits against Commander Kruit. It's an AP -1, so Kruit will need a 6 up to save. He makes 1, so 1 hit going through, and he is tough, so it's only a scratch. With the bot swarm still in the game and the robots controlling 1 objective and the other 2 objectives contested by both squads, there is no longer a way for the human defense force to win this battle. So Commander Kruit has no choice but to retreat himself and his squad and try to escape the battlefield with as many men as possible. The Robot Dynasty will be victorious. A final look at the winning side here. Even though they were hit multiple times by Commander Kruit, they still managed to stay in the game. Thanks a lot for watching this battle report. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll come back for another Bat Rep soon.